The colony of Don 13 was supposed to be peaceful. It was a small, human station floating near a cold blue planet, far away from Earth's big cities and famous fleets. Families lived there because they wanted a quiet life. Kids ran in the halls, people worked in gardens, and nights were usually calm. Don 13 was not rich, not powerful, and not important to the galaxy. It was simply a home. But tonight, that home became a nightmare. The lights of the colony were no longer warm white. They were red, flashing again and again like a warning heartbeat. The hallways were dark. Smoke moved slowly near the ceiling. The colony alarms were silent, as if something had crushed their voice. A strange, heavy quiet filled the station. Only one sound stayed alive, soft, crying. Behind a broken storage box near a damaged wall panel, a small human girl tried to hide. Her name was Mia Carter. She was not more than 7 years old. Her face was dirty with ashen tears, her hands shaking so much she could barely hold her. Small toy robot? The toy was old and scratched, missing one arm, but Mia hugged it like it was the last safe thing in the universe. She tried not to make a sound. She tried to control her breathing. She knew loud sounds could bring them. Because the aliens were already inside the colony, they had come fast, like dark fire. Their armor looked like black stone, heavy and sharp. Their helmets had glowing lines like angry eyes. When they walked, their boots hit the floor with hard metal steps that echoed through the halls like a countdown. Mia listened as those steps moved closer. Her heart beat hard in her chest. She pressed the toy robot against her mouth to stop herself from crying louder. Then she heard voices deep, rough, and laughing. 2 alien soldiers entered the hallway. Their tall bodies filled the space like moving walls. One of them dragged something behind him. It was a human man, bleeding, unconscious, his body scraping the metal floor. Even in sleep, his hand was stretched forward, like he was still trying to protect someone. The other alien soldier looked around and kicked a fallen human helmet like it was trash. "Humans are weak," he said in broken English. His voice sounded like rocks grinding. "They cry too much." The second soldier answered with a cruel tone. "They are soft. Even their children scream like tiny animals." The first alien laughed louder. "The children are the best part." Mia felt cold fear rise inside her. Her eyes became wide and wet. Her fingers tightened around her toy robot. The aliens walked closer. One of them suddenly stopped near the storage box. Mia's whole body froze. She could see the alien's shadows stretching across the floor toward her hiding place. She could smell something strange, like burned oil and metal. The alien leaned down and picked up something from the floor. It was a small pink child's shoe, dusty and torn. He lifted it like a trophy. "Look," he said, laughing softly. A baby human was running. The second alien stepped closer and looked at it. "Cute," he said. "Maybe I should keep it." He crushed the shoe slowly in his armored hand until it cracked and bent. Mia almost screamed. Her mouth opened, but she forced it closed. She bit her lip so hard she tasted blood. The aliens laughed again. Then the first alien suddenly kicked the storage box. It slammed into Mia's legs. Pain shot up her body, sharp and hot. Mia made a small sound without meaning to. The toy robot slipped from her hands and hit the floor with a tiny clink. The alien turned instantly. His helmet faced her like the head of a monster. Mia tried to crawl back, but she was too slow. The alien stepped forward, slow and enjoying the moment. "Ah," he said. "A little one." He grabbed Mia by her shirt collar and lifted her into the air like she was nothing. Mia kicked and cried, her feet swinging above the floor. Please, please, stop, she begged, but the alien did not care. He stared at her like she was an insect. Do you know what you are? He asked in a cold voice. You are a lesson? He turned to the other soldier. Should we break this one first? The second alien nodded without emotion. Yes, break them young. That is how humans learn fear. Mia cried harder. She looked around, hoping to see her parents, hoping to hear a human voice. But the hallway was dead. The colony was burning. The people were gone. Only the aliens remained, laughing and hunting. Mia felt like the universe had forgotten her. Then something changed. The lights in the hallway flickered. Once. Twice. The air vibrated with a deep humming sound. The alien soldiers stopped laughing. Their helmets turned slightly, as if listening. The broken screens on the walls suddenly turned on. Static filled them like white storms. The colony speaker system, dead for hours, came alive with a sharp click. A voice spoke through it. It was not the colony AI. It was not a scared human voice either. It was calm, sharp, and cold, like someone who had watched wars for a very long time. Attention, hostile forces inside human civilian territory. The aliens froze. Mia also stopped crying for a second, shocked. The voice continued, steady and clear. This is a direct warning from Human Fleet Command. You are harming protected human miners. The alien holding Mia tightened his grip like he wanted to crush her out of anger. The other alien stepped toward the wall and hit the panel hard. Sparks flew, but nothing stopped. Another alien raised his plasma rifle and shot the speaker. It exploded, smoke rising. But the voice did not stop. It jumped to another speaker, another screen, like it was everywhere at once. Human children are not targets, the voice said. They are not tools. They are not toys. The alien hissed. He threw Mia to the floor. She hit the metal hard and cried out in pain. He aimed his weapon at the screens. Who speaks? He demanded. The voice answered like it was staring straight into his soul. A species that does not forgive this crime. The static vanished. A symbol appeared on every screen, an old Earth emblem, a burning star inside a circle. Mia did not understand symbols, but she felt something heavy and powerful behind it. The aliens understood. Their body language changed instantly. Their laughter died. One stepped back slowly. Impossible, he whispered. That mark. It belongs to the Ghost Fleet. The other alien shook his head, fear rising in his voice. That fleet is dead. The voice continued, calm but deadly. You hurt human children. Bid goodbye to your entire species. The words hit the hallway like a weapon. The aliens tried to talk on their wrist devices, but their systems flashed red with error codes. Their comms turned into noise. Their armor displays glitched. Their control was breaking. The voice spoke again with more force. This colony was not your victory. It was your confession. Doors slammed shut around them. Locks engaged. Not weak human, locks stronger, harder. The aliens fired at the sealed doors, but nothing opened. The hallway turned into a cage. Mia crawled away, pulling her toy robot back into her arms. Her hands still shook, but now she felt something else too. Hope. The alien soldier lifted his rifle and aimed at Mia again, anger burning through fear. His finger moved toward the trigger. The voice turned even colder. If you harm her, it said, your homeworld will burn before your body hits the floor. The alien froze. Slowly, he lowered his gun. That was when the colony shook. Hey! Deep boom echoed through the station. Metal screamed in the distance as if something massive had connected to the colony hull from outside. The aliens rushed to a window panel and ripped it open. Beyond the thick glass was space, darkness, stars, then movement. One ship appeared out of hyperspace like a shadow, then another, then dozens, then hundreds. Huge, silent black warships arrived, surrounding Dawn 13 like wolves around prey. Their lights were dim. Their guns were not firing. They did not need to fire yet. The aliens stood frozen in shock. A weak signal finally came through on their comms. A terrified officer's voice said, "Commander, we are being surrounded." The alien commander replied, shaking, "Identify the fleet." The answer came like a death sentence. "It is human, but not normal human ships. These are old, heavy war carriers, unknown class." The commander whispered, "That's not possible." But it was possible. Leading the fleet was a giant spear-shaped ship, covered in battle scars like it had survived hell itself. On its side was the same burning star symbol. A name appeared on the colony screen in human letters. Mia could not read much, but one word was clear: Guardian. The voice returned one last time, calm and final. "You have 10 minutes, it said. After that, your species ends." The aliens did not laugh anymore. They did not feel like kings anymore. They were trapped inside a human colony, surrounded by a human storm. The galaxy had always called humans weak and soft, but now the galaxy was about to learn one rule. If you hurt human children, you do not get mercy, you get extinction. The alien soldiers did not run after the warning. They should have. Any smart army would leave after seeing a human fleet surround the colony like a silent cage. But these aliens were proud. They were cruel, and pride made them blind. Inside Dawn 13, 2 alien soldiers dragged Mia through the dark corridor. Her knees hurt, her arms hurt, and her small fingers shook around her toy robot. Emergency red lights flashed above, making the walls look like they were bleeding. Smoke floated near the ceiling. Mia tried to cry quietly, but fear kept pushing. Tiazao, one alien shoved her forward. "Move," he said in broken English. Mia whispered, "Please, I want my mom." The alien laughed. "Your mother is nothing," he replied. "You belong to the Dominion now." Mia did not know what Dominion meant, but she understood the meaning in his voice. It meant she was not free. They passed broken rooms and burned hallways. Mia tried not to look at the bodies lying still in corners, but her eyes caught something familiar, a dark blue jacket with a small patch on the chest. Her father's jacket. Mia froze. Her mouth opened, but her voice came out like air. "Dad!" She tried to run to him. The alien grabbed her arm and yanked her forward. Pain shot through her shoulder. "No," the alien growled. Mia cried louder. "Dad! Dad!" But the body did not move. The station did not answer. The aliens dragged her away as if her heart did not matter. They took her into the central cargo bay. Before this night, it was a place full of machines and supply boxes. Now it looked like a prison made for nightmares. The room was huge and cold. Emergency lights glowed red. Metal cages stood in long rows like a dark forest of bars. Mia's breathing became fast. Inside the cages were human children. Many children. Some were crying loudly. Some hugged each other. Some stared into nothing with empty eyes. Mia felt her chest squeeze tight. She wanted to run to them, to tell them it would be okay, but she did not even believe it herself. An alien officer walked between the cages like a man checking animals. His armor had silver markings and he moved with calm power. He stopped when he saw Mia. "So," he said in clear English, "another small human." Mia stared at him with fear. The officer leaned closer like he was trying to smell her fear. "Do not cry," he said softly. "You are lucky," Mia whispered. "Lucky." The officer smiled coldly. "Yes, you were chosen." Mia shook her head hard. "I want home." The officer answered, "This is your home now." Then he turned to two soldiers. They rolled out a device from behind a crate. It looked like a metal chair with straps and scanning arms. Mia's eyes widened. She stepped back. "No," she cried. She tried to run, but strong alien hands grabbed her. Her toy robot fell from her arms. One soldier kicked it aside like trash. Mia screamed. They forced her into the chair. Cold straps wrapped around her wrists and ankles and tightened. Mia pulled and cried, but the straps did not move. The alien officer looked down at her like a scientist. "Human children are the key," he said calmly. "Adults can fight. Adults can die. But children are the future. You break them and you break the whole species." Mia cried harder. "Stop. Please stop." The officer did not care. "Humans are emotional," he continued. "You fight for love. That love makes you weak." Mia shook her head, tears falling fast. "We are not weak," she shouted. The officer laughed softly. "You will be?" He activated the scanner. Tool, it hummed and moved closer to Mia's face. Mia shut her eyes and screamed. Her scream made other children cry louder behind the bars. Then a loud, angry voice cut through the fear. "Leave her alone." The voice came from a cage nearby. A boy around 8 stood up. His face was bruised, but his eyes were on fire. He held the little girl close, shielding her with his body. The boy shouted again, "You are monsters." The cargo bay grew quiet for a moment. The alien officer turned. Slowly, like he was not used to being challenged. "You speak?" the officer asked. The boy swallowed fear but did not sit down. "Humans will never obey you," he said. "My father will come. Humans will come." The officer smiled like he was hearing a joke. "Cute," he said. "You believe humans are strong?" He stepped closer to the cage. "Your people are soft," he said. "That is why you lose. That is why you always lose." The boy clenched his fists. "We do not lose," he whispered. The officer lifted a small control device and pressed a button. Electric lines lit up on the cage floor. The boy screamed as pain hit his legs. The little girl cried and held him, begging him to stop shaking. Mia screamed too, pulling against her straps. "Stop it! Stop!" But the officer watched like he was enjoying it. Then he released the button and the electricity stopped. Boyd collapsed on his knees, breathing hard, still trying to protect the little girl. The officer turned back toward Mia's chair. "Now," he said, "let us continue." The scanning tool moved again. Mia cried and tried to turn away. Toy robot lay broken on the floor, its head cracked. Mia felt like her heart was cracking. 2. Then every screen in the cargo bay flickered. Static filled them. The lights dimmed. A deep vibration rolled through the station again. The alien officer stopped. The soldiers looked up in confusion. The speakers clicked on. The calm human voice returned. "This is Human Fleet Command." The officer hissed in anger. He raised his rifle and shot a speaker. It exploded, But the voice continued through other screens. "We see you," the voice said. "We hear you," the officer shouted. "Lies. Humans cannot see inside." The human voice replied without emotion. "We have recorded everything. Your crimes, your laughter." Fear spread through the alien soldiers. Their wrist devices flashed red. "Their comms failed." The human voice continued. "Return the children. Now." The officer forced himself to sound strong. He turned to his soldiers and spoke fast in his language. His plan was clear and evil. Move the children off station fast. Use them as shields. He believed humans would not fire if children were in danger. Soldiers rushed to the cages and opened. Then they grabbed children roughly and pushed them into lines. Kids screamed and cried. Some tried to run, but aliens kicked their legs. The boy from before fought hard. He tried to hold the little girl's hand, but two soldiers pulled them apart. The little girl screamed, "His name, Leo." Mia heard it. So his name was Leo. Leo struggled and shouted, "Do not touch her." A soldier punched him and he fell, coughing, but he still crawled toward his sister. Mia's eyes burned with tears. She felt helpless, but something new was waking up inside Hangar. The aliens yanked Mia out of the chair and dragged her, with the other children, into a docking tunnel connected to an alien transport ship. The tunnel was cold and filled with shaking footsteps. Mia looked through a small window and saw the human warships outside, huge black shapes with dim lights, surrounding the colony like silent gods. They were not firing. That silence felt worse than explosions. It felt like judgment waiting to fall. The children were pushed into the transport ship loading bay. The ship engines started warming up. The floor vibrated. The docking clamps began unlocking. The alien officer watched the human fleet outside and smiled again. "Humans will not shoot," he said softly. "They will hesitate." Then the transport bay went completely dark. Total darkness. Kids screamed. Aliens shouted. Then red lights turned on again, but these were not alien lights. These were human. The burning star emblem appeared on every screen inside the ship. A new voice filled the bay, deeper and closer than before. "This is Guardian-class carrier Vengeance," it said. "You are attempting to flee with human children." The alien officer froze. The voice continued, slow and final. "You will not escape." The docking tunnel shook violently. The transport ship tried to pull away, but something massive held it in place. Outside, a human warship moved closer and locked a giant magnetic clamp onto the alien ship like a hand grabbing prey. The officer screamed at his soldiers, "Break free!" But the transport ship could not move. The human voice returned. "Release the children," it commanded, "or be pulled into the void." The alien officer turned, desperate. He grabbed Mia and pulled her close, placing a weapon near her head. Mia froze, breath trapped. The officer shouted, "Stop, or she dies." Silence fell. Even the children stopped crying. The alien officer smiled, thinking he had control. Then the human voice answered with cold hate. "You still do not understand," it said. "That child is why your species will die." A quiet sound followed, like a whisper cutting air. Then the ceiling burst open and human soldiers dropped into the bay like shadows made of steel. They landed fast, silent, perfect. Their weapons aimed instantly. The alien officer fired first, but the lead human soldier moved like lightning. One clean shot. The officer fell backward, dead before he hit the floor. Mia stared, shocked, frozen in place. The human soldier stepped closer, lowering his weapon, and his voice became calm and gentle. "You are safe now," he said. But the battle was not finished, because the aliens still had many soldiers left. And outside, the ghost fleet was moving like a storm that had waited too long to wake up. The transport ship bay was full of smoke, screams, and panic. The alien officer was dead on the floor, his weapons still glowing hot. Mia stood frozen, her small hands holding nothing now, her toy robot crushed and gone. Her chest moved fast as she tried to breathe. She did not understand how things changed so fast. Just seconds ago, she was a prisoner with a gun on her head. Now a human soldier stood between her and the monsters. He was tall, wearing dark armor with no bright colors. No fear signs, no extra design. His helmet was simple, his weapon steady, his movements calm like he had done this 1,000 times. He looked down at Mia, and his voice stayed gentle. "You are safe now," he said again, as if those words were the first medicine the child needed. Mia blinked hard. Tears dropped from her face. She wanted to believe him, but her fear had grown too big. Behind her, other children were crying and calling for help. Leo pushed forward, holding his little sister tightly, staring at the human soldier like he was watching a legend. The human soldier lifted his free hand, signaling calm. "All children stay behind me," he commanded, his voice firm but not loud. Even the children started calming down because his tones sounded like safety itself. Then the human soldier spoke into his wrist device. "Alpha Team, secure the kids," he said. "Bravo. Team, clear the bay. No alien leaves this ship." His words carried no hate, but they carried something worse for the enemy certainty. More human soldiers dropped from the broken ceiling. They landed like shadows, fast and silent. They formed a wall around the children. One soldier crouched near Mia and scanned her quickly with a small device. "She's alive," he reported. "Minor bruises." Another soldier looked at Leo and his sister. "You two stay close," he told them. Leo nodded quickly, trying to look brave, even though his hands still shook. The aliens on the far side of the bay finally reacted. Their voices were angry, scared, and confused. They did not understand why the humans were not negotiating. The lead human. The alien hissed and fired first. Plasma bolts flew like bright blue fire. Humans moved instantly. Another raised a shield plate that absorbed the blast. Sparks lit the smoke. The alien shooter dropped like a broken machine. The battle exploded in 1 second. Aliens fired in panic. Timing. Every human shot was calm, short, and deadly. Mia covered her ears, shaking. Leo held his sister tighter and turned his body to protect her. One human soldier stood like a wall in front of them, taking hits on his shield armor while firing back with cold precision. Aliens tried to rush forward, but humans cut them down before they could reach the children. The lead human soldier spoke. "Again on comes. Seal all exits," he ordered. "No escape routes." A heavy metal sound answered him. Doors slammed shut across the bay. Lock systems engaged. Alien soldiers rushed toward the side tunnel, but it closed in their faces. They smashed the panel in anger, but the lock was human now. Unbreakable. The aliens were trapped. One alien screamed, "Fall back!" They retreated behind cargo crates and equipment, using machines as cover. Humans advanced slowly, step by step, like a dark wave. They did not rush. They did not chase blindly. Humans rushed forward and ended the fight in seconds. The bay became quieter, but not peaceful. There was still smoke, still sparks, and still fear hanging in the air. Then an alarm sound, a deeper alarm, not human, not colony. The human soldier's helmet translated it instantly. Warning. Manual override activated. Ship self-destruct sequence started. Mia's eyes widened. Even Leo froze. The aliens had started a self-destruct to kill everyone, even themselves, just to take the children with them. The lead human. Soldier did not panic. How long? He asked. A soldier checked his wrist display. 3 minutes, he said. They want to blow the ship. The human leader turned to the children. Listen to me, he said clearly. You will leave. Mia's lips trembled. Where is my mom? She asked, her voice small. The soldier paused. For one tiny moment, sadness flashed through his calm. Then he answered honestly. We will find her, he said. But first, we save you. Human soldiers began guiding children toward the docking tunnel. Move, move, they said softly. Not shouting, not pushing, just guiding. The lead human soldier turned and fired without hesitation. The alien's head snapped back. He fell dead. The human soldier did not celebrate. 2 minutes, 1 minute 45. The docking tunnel shook as the transport ship engines struggled against the giant. Human soldiers moved faster now, but still controlled. They pushed children through the tunnel toward the colony side. Mia's small feet ran on metal floors, her breathing loud, her fear mixing with hope. Halfway through the tunnel, Mia looked through a small window and saw space. She saw the human warship outside, massive, dark, endless. It was so big, it made the alien ship look like a toy. On its side was the burning star emblem. Mia did not understand war fleets, but she understood one thing. Humans came like giants. Guardian vengeance to all units, it said. Time is up, next her. The human soldiers did not answer with fear. They answered like machines. Copy, copy. Mia did not know what Phase 2 meant, but it sounded like something the aliens would never survive. The children finally reached the colony docking area. Human Marines formed a protective ring around them. A medic robot rolled forward, scanning the kids quickly. It beeped and gave small bandage sprays. A human medic knelt near Mia, cleaning ash from her face. You're okay? The medic whispered. Mia wanted to ask again about her parents, but her throat was tight. She could only nod. Then the lead human soldier stepped into the docking area and looked at the children. A soldier counted quickly. We have 34 children, he reported. All alive. The lead soldier nodded once. Good, he said. Then he turned back toward the transport ship, where the timer was close to 0. All teams, fall back, he said. Now, humans pulled back into the colony side and sealed the docking door. The alien transport ship was now empty of children, but still full of alien soldiers and bombs. Mia watched through a thick window. As the human clamp held the ship in place like a captured beast, the ship shook harder. A bright light began building inside it. Leo's little sister cried and hid her face in his chest. Leo held her and whispered, It's okay. Then the human voice from the guardian ship spoke again, cold and final. You chose death, it said, so you will get it. A small glowing object flew from the human warship and attached to the alien transport ship. It was not a missile. It was a device. A second later, space bent. The alien ship twisted like paper. No explosion, no fire. It simply folded into itself and vanished into a black tear in space, swallowed without sound. Mia stared, shocked. The children stared too. Even some human soldiers watched silently, as if they respected the power they just used. A human soldier whispered, "Void trap successful." Mia did not know what that meant, but she felt it in her bones. Humans were not just soldiers. Humans were judgment. The colony speaker came alive again. The calm fleet voice returned. "All civilian miners secured," it said. "Good." Then it added something even darker. "Now begin cleansing." Outside the windows, human warships finally moved. There. Silent lights shifted. Their weapons systems opened like giant eyes. The ghost fleet was awake, and it was not here to scare the aliens anymore. It was here to end them. Outside Dawn 13, space looked calm, but it was not calm anymore. The stars were still shining, the cold darkness was still endless, but something had changed in the universe. The human ghost fleet had arrived, and now the galaxy itself felt smaller. The massive Guardian-class carrier Vengeance floated near the colony like a mountain made of black steel. Around it, dozens of heavy warships formed a perfect circle. They did not flash lights. They did not send loud warnings. They simply waited like predators who already knew the prey was trapped. Inside the colony docking bay, Mia sat on the coal floor beside other children. Human medics moved between them, scanning injuries, spraying fast bandagers, giving warm blankets. The kids were still shaking, still crying, still whispering names of parents that might never answer again. Leo sat close to his sister, holding her like a shield, his bruised face looking toward the human soldiers as if they were the only safe thing left in the universe. Mia watched the lead human soldier who saved her. He stood near the docking door like a statue, his helmet facing the stars. He was listening to calm and silent, like a storm held inside a human shape. A medic tried to talk to Mia. "What's your name?" the medic asked softly. Mia swallowed. "Mia," she whispered. The medic nodded. "You did good, Mia," he said. "You survived." Mia's eyes filled again. "My mom, my dad," she said, unable to finish. The medic's face became serious. "We will search," he promised. "We will not stop." Across the docking bay, human marines formed lines near the sealed doors. They checked weapons, swapped magazines, and shared short commands. No one laughed. No one celebrated. They did. Not act like heroes. They acted like guardians. One Marine spoke quietly to another. "All kit secured," he said. "Now it begins." The other answered, "Yeah. Now we erase them." The word erase felt heavy, like the universe itself. Did not want to hear it. Mia did not understand war language, but she understood the tone. It was not angry. It was final. The colony speaker clicked on again. The calm command voice returned. "Guardian Vengeance to all units," it said. "Protocol, goodbye species, is now active." The human soldiers did not react with fear. They reacted like this was the true plan from the start. The lead soldier spoke into his wrist device. "Ground team reporting," he said. "Children secured. Colony partly lost. Enemies still inside main station areas." The reply came instantly. "Copy," said the voice. "Contain and cleanse. No enemy extraction. No escape." The lead soldier nodded. "Understood," he replied. Mia heard that word cleanse and felt cold. The human soldiers began moving again, stepping out of the docking bay into the deeper colony corridors. They moved fast, but quiet, like shadows hunting shadows. Mia watched them disappear into smoke-filled hallways. She felt something strange inside her. She was scared, yes, But she also felt safe because humans were no longer hiding. Humans were hunting now. Deep inside the colony, alien soldiers were still alive. Some were trapped behind sealed blast doors. Some were hiding in control rooms. Some were trying to repair units to call their fleet, but nothing worked. Human control was everywhere. Human locks, human signals, human eyes in every camera. The alien commander, still alive, ran through a damaged corridor with his officers. His armor was scratched now. His voice shook, even though he tried to keep it strong. "Where are our ships?" he screamed. "Why are Cums dead?" An officer answered, terrified. "Human jamming, Commander. Our fleet cannot reach us." The commander punched a wall panel in rage. "Then we fight out?" he snapped. "We take the station back. We take the kids again if we must." One officer hesitated. "Commander, the humans, they're not normal." The commander hissed. "They bleed like everyone else." The officer swallowed. "Not these humans," he whispered. "These are Ghost Fleet humans." The commander froze for half a second. Even he knew the stories. The Ghost Fleet was a myth told by scared pirates and nervous diplomats, a lost human war group that disappeared decades ago, deep into unknown space after a betrayal. Some said they died. Some said they evolved. Some said they became something dark. The commander forced his fear down. "Myths," he growled, but fear did not listen to pride. In another corridor, an alien squad found a door panel and tried to override it. They were shaking as they worked. One alien said, "Humans will not destroy us. The galaxy will stop." "Them," another alien laughed bitterly. "Who will stop them? Who will risk war with humans now?" Before he could finish, the hallway lights went dark. Total darkness. The squad froze. Then a soft red light appeared, human targeting lasers, cutting through smoke like thin blood lines. The aliens raised weapons. Their breath became loud. One alien whispered, "No. No." The human Marines attacked. Not loud, not angry. Silent. Quick. One alien fired, but his shot hit nothing. A human soldier moved through the darkness, grabbed him, snapped his neck, and vanished again. Another alien screamed and turned, but a knife flashed and his helmet split. Another tried to run, but the floor beneath him opened like a trap as human control systems shifted. He fell into a sealed shaft, screaming until the shaft door closed. The hallway became silent again. The human soldiers moved like death that did not need to roar. They cleared room after room, locking paths behind them. Aliens tried to retreat toward a hangar bay, hoping to steal a shuttle. But when they arrived, they found the hangar sealed and flooded with sleep gas. Alien bodies lay on the floor, twitching, unconscious. The survivors panicked. "This is impossible," one shouted. "Humans cannot control all systems." A human voice answered from the ceiling speaker. "We can." Then the speaker continued, "You built your empire on fear. Now you will drown in it." The survivors fired at the speakers, but it did nothing. Human control was everywhere. Far outside the colony, the alien fleet tried to respond. A battle group of Dominion ships arrived near Dawn 13, just outside the human encirclement. The captain stared at the human fleet in shock. "So many," he whispered. "They were hiding this power." His officer asked, "Do we attack?" The alien captain hesitated. If they attacked and killed children, humans would destroy them. But if they did not attack, the colony force would die. Then the human fleet finally sent a message. It was not long, It was not polite. It was one line: leave or join them. The alien captain swallowed hard. He had fought many wars. He had destroyed worlds. But he had never faced humans like this humans, who did not threaten with emotion, but with certainty. The alien captain ordered retreat. Pull back, he said. We cannot win this. The Dominion ships turned away, leaving their ground troops to die. Inside the colony, the alien commander realized he was abandoned. His officers looked at him, eyes wide. Commander, our fleet left. The commander's breathing became heavy. Then he screamed like an animal. Cowards! He grabbed one officer and shoved him to the ground. We do not die here. The officer coughed and replied, We already are dying. The commander rushed into the main command center, trying one last desperate move. If he could turn the colony reactor into a bomb, he could take the children, the humans, and the ghost fleet with him. He activated emergency overrides. Warning lights flashed. The colony reactor began rising in power. Heat alarms started screaming. The commander smiled through panic. If we cannot escape, he whispered, we will drag humans to hell with us. In the docking bay, human sensors detected the reactor's spike. A human officer's voice came through the colony speakers. Enemy is overloading the reactor. Mia saw human soldiers react. Their calm faces turned colder. The lead soldier who saved her stood up and spoke into comms. Send a team, he ordered. Stop the overload. A reply came. Already moving. Mia's eyes widened. She looked at the adults around her. What happens if the reactor explodes? She asked. The medic held her shoulders gently. Then nothing survives, he said. Leo's sister began crying again, scared by the word explode. Leo held her tighter. It's okay, he lied softly, but his eyes were full of fear. Meanwhile, deep in the colony core, a human strike team sprinted through narrow corridors toward the reactor control room. They moved like machines, jumping over debris, sliding under broken doors. Alien guards tried to stop them, but humans cut them down in seconds. One alien fired a heavy plasma cannon. A human soldier took the hit on his shield and kept moving. They reached the reactor door, but it was sealed with Dominion override codes. The human team leader placed a device on the lock. It beeped once. Then the door melted open like wax. Inside, the alien commander stood at the reactor console, his hands shaking as he pushed overload commands. He turned and aimed his rifle. Stay back, he screamed. I will burn this colony. The human team leader stepped forward slowly. His voice was calm like ice. You hurt children, he said. You do not get to choose how you die. The alien commander fired. The human leader dodged, stepped in, and punched the commander hard. The commander flew back, crashing into the console. Sparks exploded. Reactor power climbed higher. The room shook. The human leader grabbed the commander by the throat and lifted him. Where are the other children? He demanded. The commander coughed and the moment the human fleet fired the first shot, the galaxy felt it like thunder under skin. The hidden alien transport ship tried to escape into the dark using stealth engines and silent heat vents. It was small compared to the Guardian carrier, but it was fast and desperate. Inside that ship, more human children were locked in narrow metal rooms. Some were crying quietly. Some were too scared to even speak. A small boy pressed his face against the cold wall and whispered that someone would come. A little girl hugged a broken doll with no eyes. The alien guards told them to stay quiet. One guard laughed and said humans could not find them. Another guard answered with fear in his voice that humans always found what they wanted. Outside the ship, a thin ripple of light appeared as human targeting systems cut through stealth like it was paper. The alien pilot panicked and pushed power to maximum. The ship shook hard. Warning lights flashed. The pilot screamed that they must reach hyperspace. The alien captain ordered him to run faster. He believed humans would not destroy a ship full of children. He believed humans would hesitate. That belief was his last mistake. On the bridge of the Guardian-class carrier Vengeance, the human captain stood like a statue. His face was calm. His eyes did not show rage. They showed something colder than rage. He watched the fleeing ship on a hologram. A human officer spoke carefully. "Sir, the ship carries miners?" The captain replied with one short sentence. "That is why we will not miss." The officer froze. He did not understand at first. Then the captain added the real command. "Disable engines. Cut control. No blast. No mercy for guards." A weapon poured under Vengeance glowed with a strange, quiet power. It did not look like a missile. It looked like a hole opening in reality. The ship fired a focused beam that did not explode. It touched space around the alien transport like an invisible hand. In 1 second, the transport ship engines died. Every system blinked out. The ship stopped drifting like a dead fish in a dark ocean. The alien pilot screamed and slammed controls, but nothing answered. The captain yelled to restart power, but it was too late. Human tech had already wrapped around the ship like chains. A human voice filled the alien comm channel. It was calm and sharp. "This is Human Fleet Command. Your engines are disabled. Your weapons are locked. Your ship belongs to us now." The alien captain shouted back, "You will not fire. You will not risk your children." The human voice replied, "We did not fire. We took your legs." The alien captain went silent. Fear filled the bridge like poison gas. He understood the truth. Humans did not hesitate. Humans adapted. Humans found a way to win without giving the enemy a shield. Inside Dawn 13 colony, the lead human soldier stood in the reactor room with his team. The alien commander lay on the floor bleeding and laughing in short broken breaths. The human soldier spoke into comms. Confirmed the transport ship. Confirmed child count. The answer came fast. Confirmed. A small alien ship. Still carrying miners. Preparing, boarding. The human soldier clenched his jaw. He looked at the alien commander. "You hid them?" The commander smiled with blood in his teeth. "Yes, they will die with us." The human soldier stepped closer and his voice became low. "No, they will live. You will not." He turned away. "Move out," he ordered. "We board now." The human strike team ran back through the colony corridors. Doors opened for them. Lights guided them. Human control took over everything. In the docking area, Mia sat with the rescued children. She was wrapped in a blanket now. Her face was cleaner, but her eyes were still full of pain. She heard the soldiers talking about another ship. She realized there were other kids still trapped. Her hands became fists under the blanket. Leo sat beside her. He held his sister and spoke softly. "More? Kids are still there." Mia nodded. Her voice came out small but strong. "They will save them." Leo looked at her and nodded too. He wanted to believe it. He needed to believe it. A human marine walked to the kids and spoke gently. "Stay here. You are safe. We will bring the others back." Mia asked one question only. "My mom and dad?" The Marine paused. He did not lie. He did not promise magic. He answered carefully. We will search the colony. We will check every section. His eyes filled again, but she nodded. It was enough for now. Outside, the Vengeance carrier launched boarding pods. They were black and silent like falling stones. They flew toward the disabled alien transport ship. The alien ship tried to call for help, but every signal died. They tried to open emergency weapons, but the system stayed locked. The alien guards inside began shouting. They ran to corridors with rifles ready. They planned to use children as shields again. They believed humans would stop when they saw the kids. They did not understand humans at all. The boarding pods hit the hull with heavy force. Meadow screamed. Cutting tools burned through. Doors blew open. Human Marines entered like shadows. Their helmets had no fear signs. Their rifles were steady. Their movements were calm and perfect. One Marine spoke into comps. Boarding successful. Hostiles inside. Miners detected. Starting rescue route. The humans moved through the ship fast. They did not shoot wildly. They did not panic. They used stun pulses for doors and lock traps for corridors. They moved like they already knew the ship layout, because human fleet AI had scanned it. The first alien squad rushed around a corner and fired. Plasma bolts lit the corridor. Humans rolled and took cover. One Marine threw a device that released thick smoke. Another device followed that created a hard light wall. Alien shots hit the wall and died. Then humans fired back with sharp, clean bursts. 2 aliens fell. The others ran back screaming. On another corridor, an alien guard grabbed a little girl by the arm and pulled her close. He shouted at the humans to stop or the child dies. The little girl cried and shook. A human Marine spoke calmly. Put her down. The alien yelled louder. I will kill her, the human Marine replied. You already killed your species. The Marine lifted his weapon and fired one stun shot that hit the alien arm. The guard screamed and dropped the child. Another Marine caught the child and pulled her behind cover in one fast move. Then the first Marine fired again and ended the guard with one shot. The child stared in shock. The Marine held her softly. You are safe, he said. Keep breathing. It will end soon. The rescue teams reached the child holding area. It was a dark storage room with bars. Kids were packed inside. Their eyes widened. When they saw human armor, a small boy whispered, Are you real? A Marine nodded. Yes, we are real. The bars were cut open. Humans lifted children one by one. Some kids were too weak to walk. Marines carried them. Some kids cried loudly. Marines did not tell them to stop. They let them cry because the crying meant they were alive. One child asked where Earth was. A Marine answered gently, Home is waiting. Just stay with me. Meanwhile, the alien captain on the bridge pulled a hidden pistol. He planned to kill the children with an explosion to hurt humans, but human fleet AI already saw his heart rate spike. A drone entered the bridge vent and dropped like a knife. It fired one clean shot. The captain fell. His hand never reached the button. The human voice returned on ship speakers. All enemy command removed. Continue rescue. In space, human Marines guided the freed children into boarding pods. One by one, the pods launched back to Vengeance. Safe, silent, controlled. Not one child was left behind. Not one alien ship escaped. Back inside Dawn 13 docking area, the doors opened and a group of Marines arrived with more children. The rescued kids ran forward, crying and hugging each other. Mia stood up slowly. She saw the little girl with the broken doll. She saw the boy who whispered for help. They were alive. Leo stood too. His sister clapped softly and cried. Leo whispered, "Humans came." Mia felt her knees go weak. She sat down and cried into her blanket. Not from fear now, from relief, from anger leaving her chest. The lead human. Soja entered the docking area after the boarding. He looked at the children and counted again. Then he nodded once. "All secured," he said. The human fleet command voice spoke again through the colony system. Miners recovered. Enemy transport ended. Now proceed to final cleansing. The word cleansing returned. Heavy, cold, final. And far outside, the human fleet began moving into attack. Formation. The next stage was not rescue anymore. It was punishment. It was extinction. And the aliens were about to learn the final truth. Humans could forgive many things, but not this. Never this. The moment every child was secured, the human fleet changed its shape in space. Before, the warships surrounded Dawn 13 like a silent wall. Now they moved like a living machine. The Guardian-class carrier Vengeance rotated slowly, its giant body turning toward deep space where the Dominion forces waited. Smaller ships spread outward in perfect lines. Heavy carriers moved into the center. Support drones filled gaps like dark birds. It looked like a storm building, but with no wind sound, only cold control. In the colony docking area, the children were kept close together. Human medics gave water and warm food packs. Some kids drank fast as if the water might disappear again. Others just held the packs and stared at the floor. Mia sat beside Leo and his sister. She still felt like she was inside a bad dream. Her hands were clean now, but her mind was still dirty with fear. Leo kept looking around like he expected aliens to appear again. A human marine stood near them like a wall. He did not move much. He did not talk much. He only watched. That watching made the children feel safer. Mia finally asked again in a quiet voice, "My mom and dad?" The Marine looked at her and answered truthfully, "Search teams are inside the colony. If they are alive, we will find them." Mia swallowed hard. She nodded and hugged her blanket. She could not cry anymore. She felt empty, like her tears had finished. Then a different sound reached the docking area. A deep, low vibration. Not from inside the colony. From outside. From space. Humans were charging weapons. The calm command voice returned through colony speakers. "All units report. Enemy fleet approaching. Begin Phase 3. The words Phase 3 made the air colder. Human Marines in the docking bay looked up. They checked rifles and moved into positions. One soldier whispered, "This is the part where they understand." Another replied, "They already do. They just cannot accept it." Far away from Dawn 13, Dominion ships formed their own lines. They were larger than most fleets in the region. They were made for fear. Their holes were sharp and ugly. Their weapons ports were wide like open mouths. They had enslaved dozens of worlds. They had burned cities from orbit. They believed humans were soft because humans traded more than they fought. The Dominion admiral watched the human fleet on his screen. His eyes narrowed. He did not like the silence of the humans. He did not like the way their ships moved without panic. He spoke to his officers. "Humans are trying to scare us, but they will not destroy a whole fleet over a few children." His officer hesitated. Sir, the children were harmed? The admiral snapped. War has costs. Humans will learn that. Then he raised his voice. Charge weapons. Prepare to break their circle and take their carrier. The Dominion fleet began firing test pulses and scanning waves. They sent messages to threats, insults, warnings. Humans did not reply. Not with anger, not with fear. They replied with only one sentence. You crossed the line. That was all. The Dominion admiral laughed. He thought it was weak. He was wrong. Human warships opened their weapon bays. The first human strike did not look like a normal attack. There were no bright laser storms at first. There was a quiet wave of drones, hundreds of them, moving forward. Like a black river. The Dominion ships fired at the drones, thinking it was easy. But the drones were not there to fight. They were there to cut. Each drone attached to a Dominion ship for 1 second, then released a sharp signal pulse into its systems. Dominion shields flickered. Dominion targeting failed. Their comm channels turned into noise. An officer shouted, We are losing control. The admiral screamed, Fix it. But the problem spread. Human electronic warfare was like poison in the Dominion fleet. One Dominion cruiser fired a plasma blast at Vengeance. The blast hit the edge of the human defense field and vanished like smoke. The Dominion crew cheered too early. Then the human fleet fired the real first shot. A single beam from Vengeance touched the Dominion cruiser. There was no loud explosion. The cruiser simply split. Like a knife cutting a fruit, the two halves drifted apart. Power died. The crew never even had time to scream. The Dominion fleet froze for half a second. Then panic started. The admiral shouted, Full attack. All ships fire. The Dominion fleet unleashed everything. Bright weapon, fire-filled space. Plasma storms. Missile chains. Heavy cannons. It looked like a burning river flying toward the humans. The human fleet moved like water, shifting formation. Shield walls aligned. Counterfire began. But human? Shots were different. Each human shot was controlled. No waste, no fear. Human beams cut Dominion ships one by one. Human missiles did not explode wide. They drilled into weapon ports and ended them from inside. Dominion captains tried to retreat, but human ships already blocked them. One Dominion destroyer attempted hyperspace jump. Human AI locked it instantly. A gravity net activated. The destroyer bent, slowed, and stopped as if it hit an invisible wall. Human Marines watched from their ship windows, calm. This was not a fight anymore. It was a cleaning. In the colony docking area, Mia felt the floor shake gently. Leo asked the Marine, Are they fighting? The Marine answered, Yes. Leo swallowed. Are we safe? The Marine answered again. Yes, because they cannot reach you now. Mia stared at the Marine. Hellnet, she could not see his eyes, but she felt the promise in his voice. She looked at her hands and remembered how the alien officer held a gun to her head. She remembered the laugh. She remembered the crushed shoe. Something inside her burned again. She whispered to herself, Goodbye? In space, the Dominion admiral watched his ships disappear. His flagships shook as systems failed. His officers shouted different warnings. Shield collapse. Weapon failure. Engine damage. Boarding signals. The admiral screamed, No. Bring the children. Threaten them. Use them. An officer replied in terror, We do not have them. They were rescued. The Admiral's mouth went dry. He looked at the human fleet and finally understood. The humans were not hesitating because they already removed the hostage. The Dominion admirals saw vengeance move closer like a giant shadow. A human message appeared on the com screen. It was short. "This is judgment." The admiral tried to speak back. He tried to threaten. He tried to beg. But the com did not allow his words. It only displayed the next human message. "You hurt human children. Your species ends today." Then human ships opened more weapon ports. A ring of smaller ships fired. At once, Dominion shields failed fully. The flagship began losing parts. One section broke off and drifted away, burning. The admiral stumbled. He screamed for escape pods. But human drones were already in the halls. Doors sealed. Engines locked. The flagship became a cage. The human fleet did not just kill ships. They removed escape too. No survivors. No stories. No lies later. The Dominion admiral fell onto his command chair, shaking. He had once believed the galaxy belonged to the cruel. Now he understood something else. The galaxy belonged to those who protected their young. Outside the flagship, vengeance charged its main weapon again. A bright, silent light gathered. The admiral whispered, "Please." The weapon fired. Space bent. The Dominion flagship folded into itself and vanished into a dark tear like it was swallowed by nothing. The Dominion fleet broke completely. Some ships tried to run. Human hunters followed and ended them. Some ships surrendered. Human systems shut them down anyway. Their crimes had already passed the point of surrender. Back in the colony, the calm command voice returned again. Enemy fleet eliminated. Colonies secured. All miners recovered. Then the voice added the final order. Begin full Dominion cleansing across the sector. The human Marines did not cheer. They did not clap. They just prepared. Because this was not only about Dawn 13. Dawn 13 was the spark. Now the fire would travel. Across space, human fleets moved to Dominion outposts, war factories, and command worlds. They targeted shipyards first. They targeted labs next. They targeted leadership last. Human drones spread like night. Dominion defenses failed. Planetary cannons went silent. Supply lines broke. Dominion colonies lost power and communications. World after world fell without a long war. Not because humans were angry. Because humans were finished with mercy. In the docking bay, Mia listened to the voice and saw the faces of other children. Some looked scared. Some looked relieved. Some looked empty. Leo held his sister and whispered, "It is over." Mia closed her eyes and tried to believe it. But deep in her heart she felt the truth. This was not the end. This was only the start of what humans would do to anyone who ever thought a child could be used like a tool. And across the galaxy, every species watching understood the new rule. Humans may forgive insults. Humans may forgive battles. But harm one child, and humans become extinction. No one in the galaxy slept that night. Not because of noise. Not because of explosions. But because of silence. A new kind of silence. The kind that comes after a predator stops hunting and starts judging. Dawn 13 floated in space like a wounded bird. Light still red. Walls still broken. Smoke still alive in some corridors. Yet inside that damaged colony, something impossible was happening. Children were safe. Human soldiers walked the halls, not as invaders, but as guardians. Their boots no longer sounded like a countdown to death. Now their steps sounded like protection. Mia sat near a warm emergency heater beside other rescued kids. She held a new blanket. It was not fancy, but it was warm, and warm felt like life. Her eyes still looked too old for her age. She kept staring at the docking door as if she expected her parents to appear any second. Leo sat close with his little sister curled into his side. He did not sleep. He watched the humans quietly, not because he feared them, but because he was trying to understand them. These were not the humans the galaxy talked about. The galaxy called humans emotional, soft, weak, slow. But the humans here were not weak. They were calm like steel, gentle with children, cruel only to monsters. A human medic walked past Mia again and knelt beside her. "Mia Carter," the medic said softly, reading a small screen. Mia looked up. "Yes," she whispered. The medic breathed in slowly and gave her a small data card. "We found your family records," he said. Mia's hands shook. "Are they alive?" she asked fast, voice breaking. The medic did not answer like a machine. He answered like a human. He paused. He respected her fear. "Your father did not make it," the medic said quietly. Mia's world cracked. She did not scream. She did not fall. She just stared, like her mind stopped moving. Medic continued, "But your mother is alive. He was found injured in Section 9. She is in medical care right now." Mia's breath returned in one painful rush. Tears fell again, but they were not only pain now. They were relief too. Leo watched her. He held his sister tighter. Mia whispered, "Mom," like the word itself was a prayer. The medic placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You will see her soon," he promised. Then he stood and walked away to help another child. Across the docking bay, other kids received news too. Some screamed in joy because parents were found. Some cried because parents were not. The humans did not rush those emotions. They let children cry. They let children break. Because humans understood something the aliens never would. A child is not just flesh. A child is the future hold-in. A small heartbeat in a fragile body. Hurt that, and you do not just hurt one family. You hurt a whole species. Hours later, inside the medical wing, Mia walked slowly with the Marine beside her. The corridor lights were dim but stable now. Colony. Power was returning under human control. Mia's small feet made tiny sounds on the floor. Her blanket trailed behind her. Her heart felt too big inside her chest. When the door opened, she saw her mother sitting on a bed with a bandage around her head and bruises on her arms. Her mother's eyes widened. For a second she looked like she could not believe her own vision. Then she cried out, "Mia!" Mia ran. She ran faster than she ever ran in her life. She jumped into her mother's arms and the two of them held each other like they were trying to stop the universe from taking them apart again. Her mother cried and kissed Mia's hair again and again. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. Mia cried harder. "I thought I lost you too," she answered. The Marine turned away, giving them privacy. But his helmet stayed still for a moment longer, like even a soldier needed to respect that kind of love. In another part of the colony, Leo and his sister were also reunited with their parents. Their father had survived. Their mother had been found unconscious but alive. When Leo finally saw them, he did something he did not do in front of aliens. He broke. He cried openly. Because he was not trying to be strong anymore. Humans had arrived. He was allowed to be a child again. Outside in space, the Ghost Fleet did not celebrate. It did not send victory songs or bright fireworks. The human fleet simply continued its work, moving from one Dominion sector to another. Dominion shipyards went dark. Dominion war factories became silent ruins. Dominion science labs that studied children like tools were wiped clean from the map. The galaxy watched every moment through hidden signals and long-range sensors. Other species gathered in councils and emergency meetings, whispering fears. Some said humans were becoming monsters. Some said humans were saving the galaxy from monsters. One elder from a neutral species spoke in a trembling voice. Humans have shown their true face. Another elder corrected him softly. No, they have shown their true heart. The truth was painful but clear. The humans were not cruel by nature. They were protective by nature, like a quiet animal that avoids conflict until its young are threatened. Then it becomes something unstoppable. Days later, the human flagship Vengeance broadcast a message across the sector. It was not long. It was not a speech. It was simple. It was clear. It was a warning carved into space itself. This is Human Fleet Command. To every species watching. Humans do not seek war. Humans do not enjoy pain. But humans will end anyone who harms our children. There will be no negotiations, no mercy, no second chance. Let this be known. Let this be remembered. The message spread fast across thousands of systems. Pirates stopped raiding human colonies. Slavers erased human names from their target lists. Even powerful empires adjusted their policies overnight, because fear was not the lesson humans wanted to teach. But fear was the lesson the galaxy learned anyway. Back in Dawn 13, repairs began. Human engineers fixed broken systems. Medics treated the wounded. Small memorial lights were placed in the colony hallways for those who did not survive. Mia stood with her mother at one of those lights. She held her mother's hand tightly. Her mother whispered, "Your father was brave." Mia nodded, eyes burning. "He tried to protect me," she said. Her mother kissed her forehead. "He succeeded," she answered. Mia looked up at the sky through the station window. She could see the human warships still there, silent and strong. She remembered the alien laugh. She remembered the gun near her head. She remembered the human soldier's words. "You are safe now." She realized something. That sentence was not only for her. It was for every human child who would ever live. A week later, the last Ghost Fleet ships prepared to leave Dawn 13. The colony was stable again. Food supplies were restored. Defenses were upgraded. Human Marines lined up one final time, ready to return to deep space. Mia watched from the docking window with other children. Leo stood beside her. He asked a question he was scared to ask. "Will they come back?" he whispered. Mia looked at the ships and answered with child logic but adult truth. "If someone hurts kids again," she said, "that they will come back." Leo nodded slowly. His sister asked softly, "Are humans scary?" Leo looked at her and smiled for the first time in days. "No," he said. "Humans are safe." Mia looked at the departing Guardian carrier. The name Vengeance glowed faintly on its hull. She whispered a quiet promise to her father, to herself, and to the stars. "No one will hurt us again." The carrier moved away. The Ghost Fleet faded into hyperspace, leaving behind silence once more. But this time, it was a safe silence. The kind that tells children they can sleep. The kind that tells parents they can breathe. The kind that tells the galaxy a new rule exists now, carved into history forever. Never hurt human children. Not if you want your species to see tomorrow.